I have grown sick of my girlfriend. She's driving me crazy. I know I should have asked her before taking such a huge decision for both of us, but I've apologized already. So many times. And yet she's denied talking to me. Hell, she doesn't even look at me. I agree that we couldn't have a bigger room. If it was in my hand, I'd have accommodated both of us in the Taj Mahal itself. But it wasn't. She needs to stop being mad at me. She never acknowledges my sacrifices. We both belonged to different religions. And when our families didn't agree to our relationship, I decided to be with her here, away from each one of them. I asked her to come out with me, to take a stroll in the midnight light for the umpteenth time tonight. But she didn't budge. Isn't it serene to see how the feeble, cold breeze sways the stern tress so easily? Isn't it beautiful to imagine how the crickets must be dancing in groups in the unlit area of the yard by only hearing their sounds? But I guess I did not think it through. I can see that she is not happy with me. It feels like the promise we made to always be together was all just meaningless words coming out of her faulty mouth. It was just me who meant it. No matter how much I shout at her, she remains unfazed and unmoved. I know I committed a big mistake, and she has all the right to be angry with me. I know I shouldn't have gone overboard when our families threatened to separate us. I know I shouldn't have secretly sedated her and brought her to this graveyard. And I know I shouldn't have buried both of us 6 feet under in this grave after injecting poison into our veins. That too all without her knowledge. But I did this for us. For that one promise we made to each other, to always be together. Then why is it only me who's not left Earth, even after being dead for years? Why did I have to see her blooming skin gradually shedding off of her lifeless body, only to be devoured away by the vile maggots? Why did I have to see the unique face I fell in love with once, replaced with the grotesque skull that every other person shares similarities with? Why did her soul not rise from her body when mine did? Why are we not together when we took our last breaths together, hand in hand? Why am I stuck here, alone with her withered bones, for eternity? Or do the people who say that every religion has its own hell and heaven say right? That maybe we can't be together even after we died? That maybe I am in my hell here, and she is in her heaven right now? My mother taught me how to sew. I'm nowhere as good as her, but I know enough to mend things and sew my clothes. I remember my first project, repairing my beloved teddy bear. Its arms and legs kept falling, exposing the stuffing underneath. My eyes were strained from pulling the thread through the eye of the needle too many times. After hours of suffering, I threw a tantrum, much to my mother's disappointment. Sewing is an essential life skill, she said, putting the mangled remains of the teddy bear back in my lap. How will you keep yourself in one piece when you can't even keep this bear together? She made me re-sew each arm and leg over and over again, until not even a wrestler could pull them apart. Another time, I fell on some glass shards while riding my scooter, and a long red scar appeared on my leg. When my mother saw it, she sighed. She washed the wound, got a thin needle, and stitched the scar together. Good as new, she said. Be careful next time, or I'll need to stitch you together again. I kept in mind how she had repaired the rip in my leg. It became useful a few months later, when I had to repair her myself. That day, I came back home from school to find that she had fallen down the stairs. Her head had split open, blood pouring out of the hole in her forehead. In my panic, I did the only thing I could. I sewed. Readying my sharpest needle and some flesh-colored thread, I stitched the hole together. My shaking hands made the stitches uneven, and in my fear, I pulled the thread too tight. Skin is hardly an ideal material to work with, since it stretches like elastic. Still, I tried my best. Even though I had sewn so tightly that no more blood leaked out of the hole, her eyes still didn't open. So, figuring that she needed some help, I stitched her eyelids open for her. The next week was full of replacing patches of discolored skin, picking out and re-sewing stitches I wasn't satisfied with, and waiting for my mother to wake up again. It was the smell that alerted the neighbors. As much as I tried to wash her, I couldn't get it to go away. The police took my mother away from me and locked me away in a gray room with metal chains on my hands. Maybe they took her away because they knew how to repair her better than I did. Maybe they can stitch her together and left me here to wait. I just hope they can finish repairing her soon. I have been working at Bear Bear the past 5 months. It is my first full-time job, and I hate it. The pay is horrible, and I frequently work long shifts. The bosses scream at me a lot. The worst, though, is the customers. Most quietly pay, but some of them think they are the kings and queens of the planet. Black Friday drew those people in like a magnet. It was already stressful as it was, with everything on sale, up to 80% off. Queues stretched out as far as the eye could see, snaking around shelves and counters. The job had become monotonous. Scan, enter, pack, go. My eyes were getting tired from staring at the screen for so long. Enter Karen and her bratty little son, whom I shall call Dylan. Already from far away, I could smell trouble. They had not even paid yet, and Dylan, who looked no older than 7, had already ripped off the packaging of a brand new Nintendo Switch and a video game. I think it was Mario Kart. Dropped the packaging all over the floor and already started playing intensely. When they were second in line, the boy lost a match, screeched like a little demon, then dropped the Switch and began stamping on it. The glass cracked, and hoo boy, when it was their turn to pay. Karen, while holding up the Switch, said, "Your Switch is faulty. I demand a new replacement immediately." As shocked as I was, I could not stand for such behavior. "Ma'am, I saw your son clearly broke it. Cameras can prove it. We can get you a new one, but you must pay for both switches." "My little angel didn't break anything," Karen started. "So give me a new one for free right now." I was very tired, fuming mad, and done with her. I didn't really want to start a fight, especially since there were so many people behind her. Instead, I called security, made her cough up the money, and forcefully got her to leave, with her screaming curses at me. But that wasn't the end of it. I couldn't get her face out of my mind. She haunted my dreams for days on end, and every time I thought of her, I got really mad. So in the end, I got some clay and sculpted crude images of Dylan and Karen. Then I stuck needles all over their body. I could hear screams from a few houses down. I didn't know those two lived so close by. The police said in a statement on the news that night that they looked like human porcupines when they found them. Finally, I could sleep easy. I may be the killer and an asshole, but at least the world was rid of one more Karen.
Please subscribe or the toxic skull will come for you.